Hi, I'm Claire Fallon.
And I'm Emma Gray.
We're the hosts of Here to Make Friends, a podcast for anyone who loves
or loves to hate
the Bachelor franchise.
So it's time for some week 3 of Paradise superlatives.
Things got out of hand this week.
A really big week in Paradise.
Yeah.
Momentous. Groundbreaking.
Yeah. Fists were thrown.
Come here, bitch!
Hearts were broken.
The same rejection I've always gotten. Here it is again.
Love was found.
Your biceps are so yummy.
There's just so many high and low points to get into.
True.
So let's start with one of the low points. Dumbest fist fight.
That would be between Jordan and Kristian over a piñata.
What's happening?
I think that the good news here is that it wasn't only the dumbest fist fight, it was the only fist fight. But It was dramatic.
Oh my God!
And they both got sent home, which good on the Bachelor franchise for just having a zero tolerance policy for physical violence.
That's not what Paradise is about. This is about a second chance at love.
The bar is so low.
The bar is extremely low.
Next, we have most likely to have poked around MRA Reddit threads.
We think you all know this one is Cam. Our boy Cam, who just fancies himself a nice guy who the hot women that he wants to force to mother his children just don't want.
The women, they can claim they want a good guy, but the minute one appears right in front of them, they end up with the
For some reason.
Because he's nice.
Because he's nice.
And they just want jerks.
Yeah, it's not about the fact that he is irredeemably annoying.
always be crying, always be crying.
No, it's because he's nice.
It's because he's nice.
Women, get it together.
Seriously. Next, we have the most chaotic energy.
Christina was throwing so many different things at us.
All over the place.
She gives her rose to Blake. She tells him it's out of friendship. She tells the camera it's in order to punish him.
Sure, I want Blake to stick around and find love, if that's what you're here for. But then Blake would have to watch Hannah and Dylan together.
But she also really wants a friendship rose back from him. It's very confusing. Our girl is all over the place.
What's your point? You want his rose?
Next, we have the least compelling love triangle.
I really need Blake, Hannah, and Dylan to just be over.
I just don't care.
Hannah, Blake, and Dylan. Dylan, Blake, and Hannah. Oh, honestly.
I don't care. Be over, don't be over. I want to see something else on my TV screen. I'm sure they're all very sweet people. I don't care.
I know they might be sweet people, but I know they're very bland people. And they're don't...
like just a loaf of white bread.
I can't...
Right in front of Bachelor Nation.
I can't bring myself to care about their relationship, and I can't bring myself to want to watch more of it. So let's move on. Next, we have most committed to self-acceptance.
Blake. You know, Blake came in and he's just ready to forgive himself for screwing things up so badly in Paradise.
I'm ready to, honestly, I'm ready to forgive myself.
It's unclear what he feels he's done to earn that forgiveness.
But he's earned it.
That's
what we know.
And what matters is that he is over the pain he's caused everyone else.
And more importantly, that he didn't murder anyone. He didn't murder.
And if you didn't murder someone...
You just forgive yourself with nothing else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Didn't, kill anybody, and I didn't cheat or any of that.
Next, we have most entertaining courtship.
JPJ and Tayshia. Oh my goodness, they are anything but bland.
Yeah, when I say I don't want to see this couple on screen, they're very boring. What I mean is I want to see something like what goes down between John Paul Jones and Tayshia.
Oh, you didn't talk to me.
You know what? I was starving, and I ate a bunch of tacos, and I wanted to take a nap.
They are weirdos.
And you ate a lot of tacos, and it's not my fault that you take 12 naps a day, JPJ.
The things they say are confusing. They're making out and arguing about tacos at the same time.
And naps. There are naps involved. It's a great energy.
This is like the difference between a Nora Ephron rom-com and one that aired on Hallmark for the first time.
To be clear, JPJ and Tayshia are the Nora Ephron rom-com.
Absolutely.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, absolutely.
Next, we have most anticlimactic stagecoach visit.
This one's got to go to Caitlin, our Canadian girl from Colton season, who apparently was at Stagecoach.
I have met Caitlin. We met at Stagecoach. Nothing happened.
She didn't hook up with Blake. She didn't even seem to be talking with Blake. But now she is both talking to and making out with Blake.
And she was at Stagecoach, which means another week of great SpawnCon for Stagecoach.
Yes.
Next, we have most likely to give me, personally, just a horrifying flashback to failed relationships.
Katie and Chris, oh my goodness. Their miscommunication this week just was like a real dagger to the heart for anyone who has felt like they're on solid ground with someone, but it's still that beginning stage, and then just encountered a rift.
I mean, it's paradise. I don't expect you to, like, you know.
But is that what you want me to do?
I want you to do whatever makes you happy.
It was very, almost made me nauseous to watch Chris and Katie suddenly smash into the rocks based on a very brief conversation.
There's still something that that's missing, and that's, you know, there's just like a feeling that I have that's like a little bit of doubt.
And instead of coming to some sort of resolution or really talking it through, they just both succumb to this sense of sudden doubt about the future of their relationship.
I hope those crazy kids find their way back to each other.
Me too.
Next, we have most productive cameo.
This week, that one's going to go to Chris Harrison.
He was essential to the plot. He was just out here supporting Demi, coming up with solutions.
Like, how can I help you find love?
Like flying her girlfriend to Mexico, something that Chris did all on his own, obviously, with no help or planning from anyone else.
He was working really hard for his money this week.
He was. He earned it.
I mean, he had to also come down to mediate a fight.
It's true.
Earlier.
Wow.
He had so much to do and handled it with great aplomb.
Good for you, Chris.
Next, we have most great guy.
Derek. Our sweet, sweet friend Derek, who has heard that he's great.
You're so understanding. You're so great.
But doesn't want to be told that he's great in the context of being broken up with.
Everyone always says, oh, you're a great guy. I don't want just that. I don't want to just hear that.
We're not breaking up with Derek, but
we do think he's great.
We do think he's great, and he handled the breakup with Demi
so well.
So well.
I'm glad that you're moving towards what makes you happier.
This is undoubtedly a very painful situation, an unpleasant way to be rejected, and he took such care to handle it in a way that would make things easier for everyone else involved, and just really admirable.
Yeah, you love to see it.
Next, we have most heartwarming moment.
As painful as this whole thing was for Derek, we really, really loved seeing Demi and her girlfriend, Kristian, reunite in paradise. It was clearly a relationship that held a lot of weight for both of them and has continued to, as Kristian is going to be staying in paradise, so I guess we'll get to see more of her. But when Demi comes up the stairs and sees Kristian and just covers her mouth and bursts into tears of joy, it was really heartwarming.
Props to Bachelor in Paradise, but also pretty telling that such a heartwarming moment only comes from a relationship that was not formed on the show.
What do you mean, Claire?
But you know, we got to see some of it, and so I'm not complaining. A great end to this week's episode.
Exactly.
And I've never wanted to commit to someone like this before.
I love you.
And before we go, who do we think is most likely to get sent home next week?
This is a tough one. We have some relationships in really precarious positions, but I'm going to have to go with Caitlin.
I'm going to go with Caitlin as well. I still think maybe Jen, but Caitlin,
I don't think Blake's that into her.
I don't think so either. And finally, most likely to end up together at the end of all of this.
Demi and Kristian, obviously.
Demi and Kristian, for sure. They're in it to win it. Couple goals.
Cheers to a beautiful future.
And that's it for this week's Here to Make Friends BIP Superlatives. Join us again for more love
and snark
when we discuss next week's 2 episodes of Bachelor in Paradise.
Until then, you can listen to Here to Make Friends on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen.